First of all, just want to express my pride, really, in the performance today. I think, we talked a lot as a group about team belief, believing in each other, and also in self-belief. And when you think the team came together 8 weeks ago at a Yorkshire 2 club in Leeds, and to put in performance, it wasn't perfect by any stretch of imagination, but I thought second half was outstanding, really. To put a performance like that against an Ireland side that's been together a long time, clearly well coached. Just delighted for, well, number one, the players, number two, the management, who, other than myself and Andy, had been to the World Cup and have really bought into this New England team. Number three, supporters. Obviously, for those at the ground, the weather didn't allow for it to be a free-flowing running spectacle, but I'm sure the English fans enjoyed the scrummaging fest. I'm sure Greg will talk about in a minute, and the control that we put on the game. So delighted, really, and a great way to finish.
In your wildest dreams, Stuart, could you see yourself ending up with? You had a lot of belief, I know that, but 4 out of 5 and rounding off with a systematic destruction, really, of a very good Irish side, and the Twickenham crowd cheering away. Was that as much as you could?
Yeah, I think we've always taken it one game at a time, to be honest, and I think one of the key moments in the campaign was the win in Scotland, and we'd not won in Scotland for a long time, and to go up there and win, that fueled the belief, if you like, and then it grows, and certainly yesterday, when we had the final team meeting, we gave the shirts out. There was a very strong feeling in the room, and a lot of confidence in what we were going to do. So, yeah, it's probably exceeded most people's expectations, but I think ourselves, we've always known we've had a good group of players, and we've always believed in our ability to get the best out of them.
Stuart, what was the message at half time, given that Mike Cross was out of the game for the Irish?
Well, the final message was about scrum, funnily enough, and no, I think it was to just play a simple game, a controlled game in the second half, and let's say whilst in the first half both sides tried to play, conditions dictated that it didn't quite go the way we wanted. We had 1 or 2 errors that we were disappointed with, but at half time going in the lead, we felt we had control, and certainly it was about playing a controlled game, using our set piece, but equally, when they had the ball, I thought we shut them down extremely well. Our discipline was good second half, and when you've got Owen kicking the points and our scrum being so dominant, we were just delighted, really.
You found lots of different ways to win games over the last few weeks. There's a lot of rugby played, free-flowing rugby in Paris, but today it was all about the pack and particularly the front row. I mean, perhaps you'd like to talk about the fact that you're not a one-troop pony. You don't seem to be a one-troop pony.
Yeah, I think you're right, and we've had difficult conditions both in Scotland and Italy away. I'm sure we're all there in the snow. I looked at their game today and thought, what happened over there? Because it was t-shirts, it seemed to be. And we won over there, and we were pleased with the way we'd won, even though we recognised we didn't get everything right. But any team has to be able to win in different conditions, but also a team has to learn and improve. And I guess the most pleasing thing for the team and for ourselves as coaches is that we've been able to see the improvements and the things we've worked on in training transfer through to the performance. And to be able to, as I say, to play in different styles, it's got to be a requirement of the best teams, and certainly that's what we're striving to be, one of the best teams. And we're making steps along that way.
You talk about the players as well, because you've had a mixture of players coming back from the World Cup, and had a rough time in the World Cup. This huge black cloud hanging over English rugby, and they've merged with a whole gang of newbies, total newbies. Pretty much all of them have taken to Test match rugby like that water. So perhaps you can talk about the merging of the 2 groups of players and how well particularly the youngsters, the inexperienced, so-called inexperienced players have done.
I think the idea behind the week in Leeds was, for me, as much about building some technical and tactical game plan, but it was actually to get a sense of team and the reason why we're all going to work hard for each other. And as you say, you probably had 3 groups of players here, some who were uncapped, some who'd been on the cusp of playing for England who hadn't gone to the World Cup, and others who'd gone to the World Cup. And those groups of players plus the management then had to form one team, and that's what we put a lot of emphasis on. And you know, with whether it was guest speakers or whether it was just talking through what it means to play for England, I think the message by the end of that week had got through, and we knew at that point we were on the journey to becoming a united team.
Clearly, there's a lot of speculation going before on your position. Is there anything that you feel that you could have done more to secure this job long term?
I don't look at it in that sense in terms of the job. I think more about, I think we all, the three of us, you know, when we reflect back on training sessions or on the environment they've created and the messages we've given and could we have done things better, I think there's always little things we're thinking, you know, but it's always been about the process and the next game and that performance, and that's been our mindset from the start. We've never once, you know, gone too far ahead of ourselves. It's one game at a time, and I think the three of us will sit down at some point and have a chat and learn the lessons that we would as a coaching team, but generally there's no regrets, no.
Graham, somebody who was at that World Cup, you've obviously got a foot in both the camps. I mean, how would you assess the difference, if there is one, between now and then?
Trying to think of an eloquent answer. I could be here a long time. There's enough being said about the World Cup. We've born again as a new team under Stuart, and it's hard to reflect on that because that was such a long time ago. We've come such a long way, and it's been an emotional ride this last 8 weeks. But the credit tonight it lies completely with that young group of players. You know, I look at the pack today, and half that pack debuted in Scotland. New set of forwards, front row, average age 24, and they've driven everything. I've kept an eye on what they've done in training, but their passion and the energy and their want to do well for each other, I'm so proud of them. For me, that makes the World Cup a distant memory. We're born again, made everyone proud of us again, and we're still not the finished article. Still loads more to come.